Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when we find ourselves seeking healing, not just of the body, but of the mind and spirit as well. In times of distress, we turn to doctors, medicine, and treatments. Yet there remains an ancient wisdom that many overlook, a healing power that has existed for centuries, hidden in plain sight. Today, I want to talk to you about a passage, a psalm, so powerful that it has the ability to bring peace to the restless heart, strength to the weary soul, and restoration to the broken body. This is the healing psalm that doctors won't tell you about. Not because they don't believe in healing, but because its power transcends the boundaries of science and medicine. What if I told you that words, when spoken with faith and conviction, hold the power to reshape your reality? What if I told you that healing begins with belief? Throughout history, people have sought refuge in Scripture, and in particular the Psalms, ancient hymns of faith that carry messages of hope, strength, and renewal. Words have an incredible impact on the human mind and body. They can inspire, uplift, and even heal. Throughout history, civilizations have understood the power of spoken words and written texts, using them in prayers, chants, and affirmations to bring about transformation. In today's world, where science dominates our understanding of healing, we sometimes forget that healing is not just a physical process, but also a mental and spiritual one. The words we speak and the words we listen to shape our perception of reality, influencing our emotions, beliefs, and even our physical health. Many scientific studies have shown that positive words and affirmations have a direct impact on our brain chemistry. When we speak words of hope and encouragement, our brain releases chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, which promote feelings of well-being and happiness. Conversely, negative words, whether spoken or heard, can trigger stress responses, releasing cortisol, a hormone that can weaken the immune system and make us more vulnerable to illness. This is why ancient scriptures, particularly the Psalms, have been regarded as sources of healing and comfort. These passages are not just religious texts. They are powerful declarations that bring peace to the mind and renewal to the soul. There is something remarkable about reading words that have been spoken for generations. When you recite a psalm with faith, you are not just reading. It becomes an experience that connects you with something greater than yourself. It is a reminder that healing is not merely a medical process. It is a journey of faith, hope, and resilience. The Psalms contain words that acknowledge human suffering while offering divine reassurance. They remind us that even in the darkest moments, there is light, and even in the deepest pain, there is healing. Doctors focus on medicine and treatments, which are undoubtedly important, but the role of faith in healing is often overlooked. There are countless stories of individuals who, despite facing grim diagnoses, found strength through prayer and scripture. Their belief in the power of words created an inner transformation that medical science could not fully explain. It was not a denial of reality, but rather an acceptance that healing comes in many forms: physical, emotional, and spiritual. When a person speaks words of healing over themselves, they shift their focus from pain and despair to hope and restoration. It is not simply about reading words. It is about embracing their truth and allowing them to take root in the heart. Words shape our thoughts, thoughts shape our emotions, and emotions influence our physical well-being. This is why so many people turn to Psalms in times of illness, anxiety, and uncertainty. These passages serve as a reminder that they are not alone, that healing is possible, and that faith has a role in the process of recovery. The power of words is real, and their ability to heal is undeniable. Whether spoken aloud or meditated upon, they have the potential to bring peace to the restless mind and strength to the weary soul. Faith and science have often been seen as opposing forces, but in reality, they can complement each other in profound ways. Modern medicine has made remarkable advancements in treating diseases, managing symptoms, and extending human life. Doctors and researchers work tirelessly to develop new treatments, using scientific methods to understand the complexities of the human body. However, healing is not solely a physical process. It extends beyond prescriptions and procedures into the realms of mental and emotional well-being. This is where faith plays a crucial role. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, and what we believe can have a direct impact on how we heal. Scientific studies have shown that people who incorporate faith and spiritual practices into their lives often experience better health outcomes. Prayer, meditation, and the recitation of sacred texts have been linked to reduced stress levels, improved immune function, and even faster recovery from illnesses. The power of belief and positive thinking is not merely anecdotal. It has measurable physiological effects. When a person engages in faith-based practices, their brain activity shifts, stress hormones decrease, and the body enters a state that is more conducive to healing. Faith provides not only comfort, but also a sense of purpose and resilience, both of which are essential for overcoming illness. One of the reasons faith-based healing is so effective is because it encourages a mindset of hope. When a person believes that they will recover, their body responds accordingly. This is not to say that faith alone can cure all ailments, but rather that a hopeful, positive mindset plays a significant role in the healing process. Countless studies have explored the placebo effect, in which patients experience real improvements simply because they believe in the treatment they are receiving. This phenomenon demonstrates the power of the mind in influencing physical health. If belief in a simple sugar pill can create measurable changes in the body, imagine the impact of deep, unwavering faith in divine healing. While medical science focuses on treating symptoms and addressing the physical causes of illness, faith addresses the emotional and spiritual aspects of healing. Many ancient scriptures, including the Psalms, provide messages of reassurance, strength, and renewal. These words serve as a reminder that healing is not just about medicine. It is about restoring balance in all aspects of life. When someone reads or recites passages of faith, they are actively engaging their mind and heart in the healing process. This can bring a sense of peace, reduce fear, and allow the body to relax. Conditions that are essential for recovery. Faith and science do not have to be at odds. They can work together to create a holistic approach to healing. Medicine treats the body, while faith nurtures the soul. When combined, they provide a more complete path to recovery, one that acknowledges the importance of both physical treatments and the power of belief. True healing occurs when the body, mind, and spirit are aligned, working in harmony toward restoration and renewal. Throughout history, people have turned to ancient wisdom for guidance, comfort, and healing. Among the many sacred texts that have stood the test of time, the Psalms hold a special place in the hearts of those seeking peace and restoration. These poetic scriptures are not just religious verses. They are powerful affirmations of faith, resilience, and hope. They provide comfort in times of distress and offer reassurance in moments of doubt. What makes them so remarkable is their ability to speak to the human soul, addressing pain, fear, and uncertainty, while simultaneously offering words of healing and renewal. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Psalms is their deeply personal and emotional nature. Unlike other ancient texts that focus solely on laws, doctrines, or historical events, the Psalms are raw expressions of human emotions. They capture the highs and lows of life, moments of triumph, despair, joy, and sorrow. This emotional honesty is what makes them so relatable. People from all walks of life can find themselves in these words, feeling understood and uplifted by their timeless wisdom. Whether facing illness, grief, or overwhelming anxiety, turning to the Psalms can provide a sense of peace that modern solutions often fail to offer. These ancient verses are filled with messages of hope and restoration. They remind readers that healing is possible, that difficulties are temporary, and that faith can bring light even in the darkest moments. The Psalms acknowledge suffering, but they do not dwell in it. Instead, they point toward renewal, encouraging individuals to trust in divine power and believe in their ability to overcome obstacles. This message is profoundly healing. When people read or recite these words, they are not merely repeating poetic lines. They are actively engaging in a process of self-restoration. The repetition of powerful, faithful words reinforces positive thinking, which in turn strengthens emotional and physical well-being. In many cultures, the Psalms have been used as a form of spiritual medicine. They have been chanted in places of worship, whispered in hospital rooms, and written on the walls of homes as reminders of faith. Their presence has provided comfort to countless individuals facing life's greatest challenges. Even those who do not follow a specific religious tradition have found solace in their messages. The power of the Psalms lies not only in their religious significance, but in their universal appeal as words of encouragement and strength. Modern science is beginning to recognize the benefits of practices that involve meditative reading, positive affirmations, and prayer. Studies show that these practices can lower stress levels, improve mental health, and even aid in physical healing. When someone immerses themselves in the words of the Psalms, they enter a state of calm and focus that promotes overall well-being. It is a reminder that healing is not only about medical treatments, but also about nurturing the mind and spirit. Ancient wisdom, as found in the Psalms, continues to offer healing and strength in ways that modern medicine alone cannot. These words hold a timeless power, reminding us that hope, faith, and inner peace are essential elements of true healing. The power of words extends beyond mere communication. They shape our emotions, influence our thoughts, and even impact our physical health. Scientific research has shown that the way we speak to ourselves and the messages we internalize can have a profound effect on our overall well-being. This is why the Psalms, filled with words of healing, strength, and reassurance, have been treasured for centuries. These sacred texts are not only spiritual affirmations, but also tools for maintaining a positive mindset, which is crucial in the healing process. The connection between mind and body is well documented, and the role of positivity in health cannot be ignored. Stress and negativity are known to weaken the body, making it more susceptible to disease. When a person is constantly overwhelmed with fear, anxiety, or hopelessness, their immune system becomes compromised. Stress hormones like cortisol flood the body, leading to increased inflammation, high blood pressure, and a weakened ability to fight infections. On the other hand, positive emotions, cultivated through uplifting words, prayer, and meditation, have the opposite effect. They activate the body's natural healing mechanisms, reduce stress, and promote overall well-being. This is why those who incorporate the Psalms into their daily lives often experience a sense of peace and renewal. The Psalms contain powerful declarations that shift focus from suffering to hope. When a person reads or recites these words, they reinforce positive thoughts and train the mind to focus on healing rather than pain. This psychological shift plays a crucial role in physical recovery. The words of the Psalms encourage faith, trust, and perseverance, qualities that are essential for anyone facing health challenges. Qualities have shown that patients with a hopeful outlook tend to recover faster and cope better with illness than those who feel hopeless or defeated. The ability to remain hopeful in difficult times is not just an emotional advantage, it is a scientifically supported factor in healing. One of the most profound aspects of the Psalms is their ability to bring inner peace. In moments of distress, uncertainty, or suffering, these words serve as a reminder that one is not alone. The Psalms provide reassurance that there is a higher power at work, guiding and restoring those who seek healing. This sense of connection brings emotional stability, which directly impacts physical health. People who engage in daily prayer or scripture reading often report lower levels of stress and a greater ability to cope with life's challenges. The act of reciting healing words out loud can be a form of therapy, reinforcing the mind's ability to stay resilient and hopeful. Incorporating the Psalms into daily life is a simple yet powerful practice. Whether through reading, meditation, or speaking these words aloud, their impact on mental, emotional, and physical health is undeniable. The power of positivity in healing is real, and the Psalms offer a timeless source of strength, comfort, and renewal. Through faithful words, the mind is transformed, and as the mind heals, so does the body. Among the many passages of Scripture that bring comfort and strength, there is one psalm in particular that stands out as a source of profound healing. This sacred text has been recited by people for generations, serving as a refuge in times of distress, illness, and emotional turmoil. Its words are not just poetic verses, they hold deep meaning and power, capable of transforming the mind and uplifting the spirit. The healing psalm reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles and that restoration is always possible for those who seek it. One of the most beautiful aspects of this psalm is its message of protection and renewal. It speaks directly to the weary soul, offering reassurance that divine strength is always available. These words encourage the reader to place their trust in something greater than themselves, to let go of fear, and to embrace faith as a guiding force in the healing process. Many who have turned to this psalm during difficult times have found comfort beyond explanation, feeling a sense of peace that surpasses human understanding. It is as if the very words themselves carry a healing energy, calming the mind and soothing the heart. This psalm does more than just offer emotional comfort. It actively shifts the way we think and feel. The power of affirmations in shaping the brain is well documented, and this psalm functions as the ultimate affirmation of faith and healing. When a person speaks these words aloud, they are not simply reciting a passage, they are declaring their trust in the healing process. They are reinforcing positive thoughts, reducing stress, and opening their heart to recovery. But studies have shown that when people engage in faith-based practices, such as prayer or scripture reading, they experience a reduction in anxiety, lower blood pressure, and an improved sense of well-being. The mind and body respond to what we believe, and this psalm provides a foundation of faith that strengthens both. Many people have testified to the impact of this psalm in their own lives, using it as a daily source of strength. Whether dealing with a chronic illness, emotional pain, or uncertainty about the future, they have turned to its words as a reminder of hope. Some have even memorized it, carrying its message in their hearts wherever they go. This practice is not just about spiritual devotion, it is a form of mental and emotional conditioning that reinforces the belief in healing and protection. Reading and meditating on this psalm daily can be a powerful addition to any healing journey, whether spoken aloud or reflected upon in silence. Its words have the ability to bring a sense of peace that is essential for recovery. True healing is not just about treating symptoms. It is about finding balance in the mind, body, and spirit. This psalm serves as a guiding light, reminding us that healing is always within reach, that faith is a powerful force, and that restoration is possible for all who seek it with an open heart. When a person speaks words of healing over themselves, something powerful happens. Words are not just sounds or symbols. They carry energy, intention, and meaning. The words we choose to internalize shape our thoughts, influence our emotions, and even affect our physical well-being. This is why affirmations, prayers, and scripture readings have been used throughout history to promote healing and renewal. The Psalms in particular hold a special place in this process. They serve as both a source of encouragement and a declaration of faith, shifting our focus from pain and despair to hope and restoration. The act of speaking healing words aloud has been shown to have a profound effect on the brain. Studies in neuroscience reveal that our thoughts and words can rewire neural pathways, strengthening positive emotions and reducing stress. When we repeat uplifting words, our brain releases feel-good chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, which contribute to overall well-being. Conversely, negative words and thoughts can trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can weaken the immune system and make the body more vulnerable to illness. This is why the practice of reciting healing words, such as those found in the Psalms, can be so beneficial. It not only brings peace to the mind, but also supports the body's natural ability to heal itself. The Psalms acknowledge the struggles of life while also offering hope and reassurance. They remind us that healing is not just a physical process, but also an emotional and spiritual journey. When someone reads these words with belief, they are actively participating in their own healing. It is not simply about repeating lines from an ancient text. It is about embracing the truth behind them. The words of the Psalms serve as a declaration of faith, reinforcing the idea that restoration is possible. This shift in perspective can be transformative, allowing individuals to see their challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and renewal. Many people have found comfort in reading the Psalms during times of illness, grief, or uncertainty. There are countless stories of individuals who, despite facing difficult diagnoses, have drawn strength from these passages. Some have even reported feeling a deep sense of peace after reciting healing words daily. This is not a coincidence. It is the power of intentional thought and spoken affirmation at work. By choosing to focus on words of healing rather than fear, they are aligning themselves with a mindset that promotes recovery and resilience. Speaking healing words over oneself is not about denying reality, but about shaping one's perception of it. The mind is a powerful force, capable of influencing the body's response to illness and stress. When a person declares words of faith and restoration, they are reinforcing a positive outlook that can make a real difference in their healing journey. The Psalms provide a timeless guide for this practice, offering words that uplift, restore, and strengthen. Through faithful declarations, the mind finds peace, the heart finds courage, and the body finds the strength to heal. Healing is more than just a physical process. It is a journey that involves the mind, body, and spirit. While modern medicine focuses on treating the symptoms of illness, true healing requires a deeper transformation. The Psalms, which have been cherished for centuries, provide a unique source of comfort and strength. Their words do not merely describe suffering, they offer hope, renewal, and restoration. This is why so many people turn to them in times of distress. They remind us that no matter how difficult our circumstances may be, healing is always possible. One of the most powerful aspects of the Psalms is their ability to change our perspective. When facing illness, pain, or emotional hardship, it is easy to become overwhelmed by negative thoughts. Fear and doubt can take hold, making recovery seem impossible. However, the words of the Psalms act as a counterbalance to these thoughts, replacing fear with faith and despair with hope. When we read or recite these passages, we are not just repeating words. We are actively shifting our mindset. This shift is crucial because the way we think directly impacts our health. Research has shown that positive thinking can improve immune function, reduce stress, and even speed up recovery from illness. The healing process is deeply connected to the mind. When a person believes in the possibility of healing, their body responds accordingly. The Psalms encourage this belief by reinforcing messages of strength, protection, and renewal. They remind us that we are not alone in our struggles and that there is a greater force working for our good. This reassurance can have a profound impact on emotional and physical well-being. Many individuals who have made scripture reading a daily habit report feeling a sense of peace that helps them navigate life's challenges with resilience. Another important element of healing is the power of spoken words. In many cultures, healing rituals involve the repetition of sacred texts, prayers, or affirmations. This practice is not just symbolic, it has real effects on the mind and body. The act of speaking positive words out loud reinforces their meaning and strengthens the belief in their power. The Psalms function in the same way. When spoken with conviction, they become declarations of faith that can bring comfort and healing. This is why many people memorize specific passages and repeat them during moments of distress. The repetition helps to calm the mind, reduce anxiety, and restore inner balance. Healing is not just about waiting for the body to recover. It is about actively creating an environment that supports recovery. The Psalms offer a guide for this process, providing words that uplift, encourage, and restore. By embracing these words and making them a part of daily life, individuals can cultivate a mindset of healing that strengthens both the heart and body. True healing goes beyond medicine. It is a holistic process that involves faith, positive thinking, and a deep sense of inner peace. The Psalms serve as a powerful reminder that no matter what challenges we face, restoration is always within reach.